This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 3rd day of June in the year 2025. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here is what we're tracking tonight. Oil giant ExxonMobil Guyana recorded just over 1.2 trillion Guyana dollars in operating profit before tax, according to its 2024 annual report. That figure represents a 66.75% increase in profit before tax when compared to the previous year. The company's net income stood at 995.1 billion Guyana dollars at the end of last year, compared to 614.5 billion in 2023. Overall, the Stabroek Block operator generated $1.732 trillion in revenue last year, compared to just over $1.1 trillion in 2023. ExxonMobil Guyana Vice President and Business Services Manager John Colling, at a press conference today, explained that a significant increase recorded is as a result of the increase in production in the Stabroek Block.
So in 2024, ExxonMobil Guyana Limited generated 1.7 trillion in Guyanese dollars in revenue, which is up about 60% from the prior year, and that's really driven by the Prosperity FPSO coming online in higher production volumes. And you'll see similarly net income of 995 billion Guyanese dollars, driven by primarily the Prosperity FPSO coming online.
At the end of last year, ExxonMobil Guyana, together with its co-venturers in the Stabroek Block, produced more than 650,000 barrels of crude oil per day. The Prosperity FPSO produced approximately 249,000 barrels of oil per day, while the Liza Unity followed closely with 246,000 barrels of oil per day. The Liza Unity produced an average of 157,000 barrels of oil per day. Based on the financial report, while the company's exploration costs dropped to 22.7 billion Guyana dollars last year compared to 55.4 billion in the previous year, its production costs increased to 61.2 billion dollars last year compared to 41.1 billion in 2023. In the list of expenses, depreciation and amortization took the largest chunk, accounting for $301.8 billion compared to $182.4 billion in 2023. The record shows that the company paid over $34.1 billion in royalty to the government of Guyana. Mr. Colling explained that the financial report was compiled in keeping with the international financial reporting standards and includes revenues garnered from costs recovered as outlined in the Stabroek Block Petroleum Sharing Agreement.
So as mentioned, currently, a significant portion of the revenue is being allocated for cost recovery. ExxonMobil Guyana and its partners have invested $40 billion to date. And have only recovered $33 billion. So there is a cost recovery ongoing. In the future, once all of those costs have been recovered, a larger component of the revenue will be available for profit oil, for splitting between EMGL and its partners and the government of Guyana. And we expect by the end of the decade that the government of Guyana will be receiving $10 billion a year in profit oil and royalty, which is equivalent to 2 trillion Guyanese dollars.
Under the Stabroek Block PSA, the operators can recover costs of up to 75%, and the remainder, which is considered a profit, is split 50-50 between the operators and the Guyana government. The government also receives a 2% royalty. According to Exxon, approximately $6.2 billion has been paid into Guyana's Natural Resource Fund since oil production started in late 2019, including $2.6 billion last year alone. More news coming up in just a moment.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look, you know the one, or one touch, even one word. It can start with one step, or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith, one day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life. Just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
The Father's Day Cultural Extravaganza is here again. Yes, it's Dedication to Daddy 6 under the theme Stand Tall, Daddy, featuring Romo Edmondson, Letitia De Silva, Keisha Sam, Neelan Benjamin, Sonia Yard, Barbara Lee, Simone Dowding, Colin Ambrose, Frederick Minty, Antoine Gonzalez, Creative Arts Dance Troupe, and others. On Sunday, the 15th of June from 8 p.m. at the National Cultural Center. Tickets $2,500. Treat Dad to an unforgettable evening of wine, song, dance, and drama with an opportunity to win a fabulous door prize. Directed by Sharon Cadogan Taylor. Dedication to Daddy 6. Stand tall, Daddy.
Prostate cancer is one of the most common cancers in men. It starts in the prostate, a small gland that plays a vital role in male reproductive health. Early stages often show no symptoms, but advanced cases can lead to difficulty urinating, blood in urine, or pain in the hips and back. Risks increases with age, family history, and lifestyle. Luckily, early detection saves lives. Simple screening like the PSA test or a routine checkup can make all the difference. Don't wait. Take charge of your health. Talk to your doctor about prostate cancer today. Early detection could save your life.
Welcome back. We turn our attention now to the world of politics. At Monday night's sitting of the National Assembly, Member of Parliament for the Opposition, Geeta Chandan-Edmond, stunned many of her own colleagues as she endorsed President Irfan Ali and the governing PPP for a second term while on the floor of the National Assembly. Chandan-Edmond, who once held the position of General Secretary of the People's National Congress, said her decision to support the PPP and the President was as a result of her conviction and not about politics. She urged Guyanese to rally behind the President for the next elections.
Let the record reflect tonight. I stand proudly with President Irfan Ali. I stand with his leadership. I stand with his vision, and I stand with his steadfast commitment to this country. And I say to every one of you in this house and out of this house that President Ali has earned a second term, and Guyana deserves nothing less.
Party insiders have told news source that executive members of the PNC had raised concern over Chandan-Edmond's conduct during the budget debate earlier this year, when she broke away from the party line and offered her support for the government's budget. She told the House last night that she supported the budget with a clear conscience and full conviction for its positive measures. Without going into details, Ms. Edmond said that she was standing up to bullies and supporting continued progress.
And so I fully and unapologetically endorse President Irfan Ali for a second term, because the work is not done. The transformation is still underway. And I believe with continuity and unity, Guyana will not just rise. We will lead. We will lead.
A recent decision by her party to dodge a parliamentary debate and not offer support for the government was also highlighted by Ms. Chandan-Edmond, who called the move disgraceful because it dealt with a Venezuelan issue.
It was not only disappointing, it was also disgraceful. It was in every sense a betrayal of our sacred duty. I regret, sincerely, I regret walking out on that motion. I should have stood with Guyana, and for that I apologize.
Chandan-Edmond was in high praises for President Irfan Ali and his leadership, saying Guyanese continue to witness change and development under his presidency. Outgoing President of the Caribbean Court of Justice, Justice Adrian Saunders, was today praised for transforming the regional court and offering rich judicial guidance to Guyana when needed the most. The CCJ today held a special sitting to honor Justice Saunders, who is retiring from the bench. Among those to honor him was Guyana's acting Chancellor, Justice Janet Cummings. In her remarks, Acting Chancellor Cummings said Justice Saunders always stood on the side of justice and played a key role in the advancement of local and regional jurisprudence.
Justice Saunders' storied career and sterling service have left indelible marks on the Caribbean's sands of time. His sterling contribution to Caribbean jurisprudence, institutional excellence, and judicial reform will be permanently etched in the annals of history. I must express deep gratitude to His Honor for his service to Guyana, particularly exemplified in numerous cases coming from our country, in which he presided and gave rich judicial guidance.
Guyana's acting Chief Justice, Roxanne George, also noted the role that the outgoing CCJ president played over the years as a guiding force for justice across the region.
Justice Saunders has been a guiding force for Guyana's judiciary, making himself available to attend our judicial conferences and court ceremonies. A respectful, kind, warm, and engaging person, I regard Justice Saunders as a mentor, from whom I have learned so much since 2011, when he welcomed me as a member of the Management Committee of the Caribbean Association of Judicial Officers, CAJU, an organization which he pioneered as its first chair for 10 years.
For his part, Justice Saunders remembered current and past judges of the Caribbean Court of Justice that continue to lead the charge in the region. However, he took issue with Caribbean countries that are reluctant to sign on to the CCJ and continue to opt for the Privy Council in the United Kingdom as their final court. He said concerns raised about the CCJ by contractors also exist at UK-based courts. He, however, noted that the CCJ should be judged by how its decisions are well respected by parties.
The CCJ is by no means perfect, but if over the last 20 years the court had failed any of the severe challenges placed before it, we would certainly have heard it loud and clear again and again. We haven't. Instead, Caribbean detractors base their reluctance to embrace their own court by repeating groundless fears, by making assertions that have zero evidence to support them, and by doing what they never do to the British court, that is, to unfairly attribute to the CCJ the imperfections of the domestic justice sector.
The incoming CCJ president, Justice Winston Anderson, credited Justice Saunders for moving the court to a more modern, strategic institution. He said Justice Saunders' tenure at the CCJ is a model for judicial excellence.
He was always in the trenches with the staff, injecting his expertise and hard work to realize this vision. His leadership propelled the court on its path to excellence, such that in 2023, the CCJ became the first court in the region to be accepted into the International Consortium of Court Excellence.
Justice Adrian Saunders, who is a native of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, joined the Eastern Caribbean Court in 1996 after 19 years of private practice. On the 1st of May 2003, he was appointed to the Eastern Caribbean Court's Court of Appeal and served as acting Chief Justice between 2004 and 2005. In 2005, Justice Saunders was among the first cohort of judges to be appointed to the newly created Caribbean Court of Justice. And in 2018, he was appointed the president of the court for a 7-year term. The National Assembly on Monday unanimously passed the Regional Security System Bill, effectively activating the Regional Security System Treaty and paving the way for Guyana to receive full support from RSS member states in combating threats to national security, including through the deployment of service personnel and vice versa. It also provides for the prevention and interdiction of trafficking illegal narcotic drugs in national emergencies, search and rescue, immigration control, fisheries protection, customs and excise control, maritime policing duties, and natural and other disasters. In piloting the bill through the House, the Attorney General Anil Nandlal said recognizing that crime is a public health hazard and inimical to peace, order and stability within the region, the Legal Affairs Committee at the level of CARICOM has been mandated to review all treaties and ensure their full implementation. The bill, the Attorney General explained, allows for the RSS to form part of Guyana's domestic laws and by extension, its enforcement apparatus.
In light of the new and emerging challenges to RSS member states, direct support to the RSS membership has therefore evolved to include supporting national security architectures with improved diagnostic capabilities to national crime and security problems, improving legal, regulatory, investigative, and prosecutorial procedures in member states, to combat financial crimes involving fiat or virtual currencies, strengthen national compliance with international standards for anti-money laundering and countering the financing of terrorism.
The Attorney General said in the case of Guyana, the country has received support from the RSS on a number of occasions. He explained that ahead of the country's 4th round of mutual evaluation by the Caribbean Financial Action Task Force, the RSS assisted Guyana by examining Guyana's legislation and provided legislative guidance with regard to the country's anti-money laundering and countering the financing of terrorism regime. Assistance was also provided in a number of criminal matters, including those involving ranks of the police force. The opposition supported the bill in full. Opposition Member of Parliament Amanza Walton-Desir, in lending her support, said the RSS is a vital regional institution committed to protecting public order and democratic governance. However, she warned the government against misleading Guyanese on the role and functions of the regional security system.
Mr. Speaker, let's look at the facts. The RSS is not and has never been an independent investigative body in this context. It is there to lend support, to augment capacity. Under this treaty, which is annexed to this bill, the RSS does not have any legal authority to operate outside of and above the local institution. And that must be made clear. It is a support mechanism, and it is only activated at the request of the host state. This is not me saying this. This is what is laid out in this bill before us.
MP Walton-Desir explained that whenever RSS officers are deployed, they are bound by the laws of the host state, and therefore they do not possess autonomous investigative powers. She added that they cannot arrest or charge and that they are to provide advice and assistance to host countries. Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Dominica, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, Guyana, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines are the members of the regional security system.
New York City, summer is about to get hot. Saturday, August 2nd, SR Hamilton LLC presents Gospel Infusion. Featuring Samuel Medas, Psycho, Eddie Neblett, Sean Daniels out of Trinidad, Carlvin Burnett, Christelle Brandt, Sherilyn Maloney, DJ Kesta D, and many more at the South Jamaica Multi-Service Center, 11402 Guy R. Brewer Boulevard, Queens, New York. Gates open at 4 p.m., showtime 5 p.m. Get your super early bird tickets for only $50. General admission $70. Pay more at the gate, and limited VIP $100 all inclusive. Come and experience the outpouring of God's grace Saturday, August 2nd. For more information, visit Gospel Infusion on Facebook and Instagram.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
Need small appliance for your kitchen? Giftland have it. Need fridge or stove? Giftland have it. Speakers or laptop? Giftland have it. I'm telling you, Giftland have everything. And don't get me started on TVs. 58-inch, 65-inch, 70-inch, 75-inch. All sizes in leading brands. Best thing about it, they're giving warranty. Man, Giftland is the place for all your electronics purchases.
Washi. Hi people, washing made so easy since I found Washi. Washing me use wash me clothes and I can say Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder leave me clothes smelling nice, of course. So give thanks for Washi soap powder for doing my laundry right. Keep my clothes color bright, have my clothes smelling nice for sure. I could not ask for more. Comes in lemon and original. It is a washing machine in a pack. Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder have my clothes smelling nice, of course.
Distributors located in the Stabrook Market.
New York City, summer is about to get hot. Saturday, August 2nd, SR Hamilton LLC presents Gospel Infusion. Featuring Samuel Medas, Psycho, Eddie Neblett, Sean Daniels out of Trinidad, Carlvin Burnett, Christelle Brandt, Sherilyn Maloney, DJ Kesta D, and many more at the South Jamaica Multi-Service Center, 11402 Guy R. Brewer Boulevard, Queens, New York. Gates open at 4 p.m., showtime 5 p.m. Get your super early bird tickets for only $50. General admission $70. Pay more at the gate, and limited VIP $100 all inclusive. Come and experience the outpouring of God's grace Saturday, August 2nd. For more information, visit Gospel Infusion on Facebook and Instagram.
Well, Guyana is hopeful that the United Nations Conference on the Two-State Solution will move the needle on resolving the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Guyana's permanent representative to the United Nations, Ambassador Karen Rodriguez-Burkett, said Guyana believes that a UN conference, which is set to take place later this month, will bring attention to the two-state solution at a critical time.
We believe that this conference is going to bring attention to the two-state solution, that it is not dead, that we need to move forward with it. Because if Israel and Palestine are to live in peace, we believe the two-state solution is the only solution. There can be no security guarantees if an entire people does not have their homeland. and this cycle of violence will continue.
She said the UN conference, which is built for the 17th to the 20th of June, should not be just another conference. And the Guyana is hopeful that it will have the kind of outcome that would move the needle on the two-state solution. Ambassador Rodriguez Burkett also said the framework is already there, noting that implementation is what is needed.
I think that the framework to put in place the two-state solution is there through the various resolutions of the General Assembly. The question is implementation of these resolutions. I think that it is a blot on the international community, on the international system, that this matter has remained unresolved since 1948.
The conference on the two-state solution will take place in New York. Ambassador Rodriguez Burkett at the time was addressing the press during the United Nations Security Council press conference at the UN headquarters. Guyana has assumed the presidency of the UN Security Council for the month of June and will lead a number of initiatives with heavy focus on global security. The traffic department of the Guyana Police Force is to begin arming its ranks with tasers for them to use whenever they find themselves in confrontations with motorists. Traffic Chief Senior Superintendent Mahendra Singh has warned that persons resisting law enforcement will be tased. In a statement, the Guyana Police Force said the new measure comes in light of the increase in violent assaults and physical violence being inflicted on traffic ranks engaged in the execution of their official duties across the country. The police force said traffic ranks are being faced with significant challenges in enforcing the laws, especially since a significant number of citizens are still bent on breaking the laws by committing traffic breaches and not cooperating with the policemen when caught. The traffic chief said it has become popular for some motorists to attack unarmed traffic ranks. He said he has given instructions to all traffic officers throughout the country to continue enforcing the laws as mandated by the Police Act, Chapter 1601, and be prepared to deal condignly with violators who would attempt to resist them violently. The traffic chief has expressed frustration with his ranks being assaulted by members of the public. He said there is now an increase in training for ranks in the use of less than lethal and non-lethal force. The traffic chief also said traffic ranks will now be issued with taser guns to protect themselves and to properly subdue offenders in the process of enforcing the laws and bringing them to justice. The government's NIS one-off payment program for eligible insured persons who have between 500 and 749 contributions has been launched. President Irfan Ali had laid the details of the initiative back in April, following his earlier announcement of the program. It is expected to benefit over 25,000 senior citizens. The initiative, the Ministry of Finance said, also forms part of the government's broader range of interventions aimed at improving the quality of life of senior citizens in Guyana. To be eligible under the program, persons must have attained the age of 60 on or before the 31st of December last year, have between 500 to 749 contributions on record, and not be in receipt of any pension from the NIS. Those persons will benefit from the one-off payment as follows. For those with 500 to 549 NIS contributions, they will receive a one-off payment of $260,000. Those with 550 to 599 NIS contributions will receive a one-off payment of $390,000, while those with 600 to 699 contributions will receive $520,000, and those with 700 to 749 contributions will receive a one-off payment of $650,000. The government said the program is intended to allow the NIS to address the challenges faced, particularly by those persons who have fallen marginally short of the 750 contributions required for a pension from the NIS.
Prostate cancer is one of the most common cancers in men, but early detection can save lives. So, who needs to be screened? If you're 50 or older, it's time to talk to your doctor about screening. But some men need to start even earlier. Your risk is higher if you have a family history of prostate cancer. Screening may be recommended as early as 40 years. Screening is quick and can include a PSA blood test or a simple exam. It's the first step in catching prostate cancer early, when it's most treatable. Don't wait. If you're at risk, get screened, because taking care of your health means being there for the moments that matter most. Screen early, live fully.
Buster presenting the new 500 milliliter. Wow, Buster flavorful. Make every meal better. Grab a Buster for drink, Buster move. Taste this. 500 ml, that's it. Buster for this, that's cool. Buster 500 milliliter is a brand new choice of my drink with my food. Vibing every munch, that's smooth. Introducing the new Buster 500 milliliter. Grab a bottle with your lunch today.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Oil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Oil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Oil has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
When the night has come and the land is dark.
Somebody in a happy mood.
Yes, Pujilu, because Band's birthday coming up and I gonna be present.
Last year your friend them been.
And you like that?
If me and you ain't go together this year, things gonna be dark, really dark.
Let's celebrate the band's birthday on Saturday, 28th of June at the National Park with 9 one-man bands and Granny Ivy.
Big birthday!
Early bird tickets for $2,000. Stage front, $5,000. Tickets located at Just Your Size Boutique, Stovetop, White Castle Fish Shop, Fireside Suites, and Team Extra Stabrook Market. Band's birthday 2025, June 28th at the National Park. Gates open from 6 p.m. and free gate upon entry.
Ooh, la, la, la. Let's go dancing.
With your regional and international news tonight, I am Svetlana Marshall. In the region, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio on Tuesday announced visa restrictions for several unnamed Central American government officials he said were connected to Cuban medical mission programs that include elements of forced labor and the exploitation of Cuban workers. Rubio did not name the officials nor the countries they are from, according to Reuters. These steps promote accountability for those who support and perpetuate these practices, he said. He added that the Cuban labor export program abuses the participants, enriches the corrupt Cuban regime, and deprives everyday Cubans of essential medical care that they desperately need in their homeland. Havana has for decades rejected such accusations. Rubio in February expanded a visa restriction policy to target Cuban officials believed to be tied to a labor program that sends Cuban workers overseas, particularly health workers. Cuba's health service generates major export earnings by sending doctors and health workers around the world. Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley has called on Caribbean countries to support Bridgetown Initiative, which is a call for urgent, decisive action to reform the international financial architecture. Addressing the 70th anniversary of the ruling Dominica Labour Party DLP in Dominica, Mottley, who is also the chairman of the 15-member Caribbean Community CARICOM grouping, said as the region continues to fight financial battles that are resulting in high debts and increased cost of living, it is incumbent that there be closer collaboration among regional countries. Mottley said the Bridgetown Initiative is intended to reform the world of development finance, particularly how rich countries help poor countries cope with and adapt to climate change. The initiative, spearheaded by Barbados, focuses on 6 action areas aimed at building a more equitable, fit-for-purpose development financial structure. So far, the initiative has provided a platform and voice to demand financial and climate justice, as was evident during the 27th United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP27, held in Egypt in November 2022, where an agreement to establish a loss and damage fund was announced. Mottley told the rally that the Caribbean needs longer and cheaper debt so that countries can continue to develop to the benefit of their people. And finally tonight, international news. South Korea has handed a decisive victory to opposition candidate Lee Jae-myung 6 months after his predecessor's martial law bid failed. The brief yet disastrous move set off huge protests and ended former President Yoon Suk-yeol's career. Impeached and removed from office, he still faces criminal charges for abusing his power. But the political chaos that followed means Victorious Lee's biggest challenge is still ahead of him. He must unite a polarized country that is still reeling from it all. He also faces challenges abroad, crucially negotiating a trade deal with U.S. President Donald Trump to soften the blow of tariffs from South Korea's closest ally. His main rival was the ruling party candidate and a former member of Yoon's cabinet, Kim Moon-so. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall, wishing you a pleasant evening.